Shalom, family. Shalom. Grand Rising. I'm just sitting here. It was just 9/11. I'm sitting here watching this video on my phone. And I'm like, this guy is telling the truth. Now, I've been saying that the Indians are Israelites, the black Indians that were here in America, that Christopher Columbus saw when he came here. And he said he's seen Indians. You know, now today's people want to make a big thing about, oh, I'm not Indian, I'm Native American. Yeah, those are the native people who were born here. They're mixed, but they're not the Aboriginal Indians. The black Aboriginal Indians who were here from India. I've been telling you guys that they migrated here from the Middle East area. One second. I've been explaining to you guys that they migrated here from the Middle East, and that Native Americans have Middle Eastern DNA. We did a video on that, and that so do the Indians. You know, black Indians, they don't want to believe that they have some of the same DNA as these people that we look at over in India, but we do. My family is Cherokee and Blackfoot, and I've done like videos on my family and, you know, showing pictures of my family, and I've talked about the Indians previously. You know, some of my first videos was about it, but this guy has put together, you know, a more elaborate video than I could. So I really wanted to share this with you guys, and I lifting the veil. If you do see this video, don't be mad that I, you know, repost it, sharing the information. But yeah, guys, you gotta listen to this, because this is everything that I've been telling you guys, but in a better representation. I'm gonna start it back a little bit.
Religion, and it's the cradle of the human race. All roads lead to India. Sanskrit is the mother of all the world's oldest living languages. NASA scientists declare that Sanskrit is the most pure of all the world's languages. Sanskrit is the sacred language of ancient pre-Brahmin Hinduism, and it's also the source of European languages and even English.
And you see at the end it say, Mother India is in many ways the mother of us all. And remember, I did that video where I was talking about India way back, if you've been with me for a while. And I was reading, and I was talking about their anthem and their basically their phrase. You know how, you know, it was the mother of us all. And, you know, after the flood, you know, it's crazy, because I was looking at a map. You know, I'm gonna say that for another video. I'm gonna make sure what I'm saying is right. I'm gonna confirm it first before I talk about that. But I've been saying that, you know, after the flood, the ark landed in Asia. So, you know, that's where everybody was living in. And I've been explaining to people that we are mixed with Canaanite and Eber. So, because Abraham's mother was Canaanite, and his father was from Shem. But let's let this play, because he's gonna he's gonna tell you a lot of information.
Contrary to what Western scholars and archaeologists claim, India is the cradle of mankind, and it's from India the geography of the planet was first explored and settled by. The Mayans, the Aztecs, the Egyptians, the Phoenicians, Aboriginals called Indians, all have their origin in India. The ancient world was once ruled by India, and that's a provable fact. An in-depth presentation of this study can be found.
Now, the only thing I would add to this video is that the Garden of Eden was actually in Africa. It run down the River Nile Valley, but that part of Africa is directly attached on to Asia. So, you know, you can go back and forth.
On my blog in 55 chapters. This will be a mere breakdown of the most important keys that unlocks the true origin of Judaism and Christianity.
So after the flood, to my understanding, after the flood, the boat that Noah was on landed in Asia. Noah's Ark.
And clears the fog as to the real origins of world history being withheld by the rulers who are shaping our matrix through deception. They do not want you to know what I'm about to present because your mind will be left.
So it said the Jews are derived from the Indian philosophers. They are named by the Indians the Kalani. Now, I'm glad he did this because I looked up the Kalani, but what I read about it, they were spelling it with a K. And when I was looking it up, I couldn't really find nothing on it. But he's spelling it with a C here.
Apt to be controlled by them within their propaganda matrix. Knowledge is power, and it's knowledge that breaks the chains over men's minds and takes them out of the cages of other men. In Hinduism, the goddess Kali is the consort or wife of the Hindu deity Shiva. Temples to Kali can be found in Mexico, South America, and place names in North America such as California. The Mesoamerican Southwest of the United States is riddled with location names honoring the Hindu goddess Kali. Temples such as Teocalli in Mexico and cities such as Calicut are named after the Hindu goddess Kali. The name Kali is used for Israel in Hebrew such as Kal Israel, which means all Israel. The name Kali can be found in Islam, such as in the name Caliphate. Maya is a goddess consort of Shiva in Hinduism. The Mayans are named after this Hindu goddess. Kundalini is a well-known Hindu name, and Kundalini is a South American agricultural goddess of the Aztecs. Aboriginals in North and South America are referred to as Indians, and the identification with India obvious. In Egypt, the Sphinx at Giza is the effigy of...
But if you say that today, people think you crazy. People in the Aboriginal, even the black Aboriginal people, and the mixed Native Americans, they all think that we're native to America. We've been here the longest or whatever. However, you migrated here from another landmass called India, but people, they won't accept that fact for some reason.
Simha, the man-lion incarnation of Vishnu in Hinduism. The Hindu god Shiva was worshipped in Egypt as the god Seb or Geb. The name Seb is a shortened form of Seba, Saba, and Sheba, which are all names for Shiva. The stelae, pillars, and pyramids which mark the Giza Plateau are called Matsaba in Hebrew. The cognate for the name Shiva is found in the word Matsaba. The Old Testament scriptures is filled with Sanskrit names to Hindu deities. The earliest patriarchs of the Old Testament named people and places after Hindu deities. The goddess Asura in Hinduism becomes the consort of Yahweh in the Old Testament as Ashura. Rama is a Hindu god whose name is found all over the Old Testament. Hebrew names such as Bala, Uma, Asher, Issa, Hosea, Hera, Baal, Adonai, El Shaddai, Jehovah, Nissan, Sabbath, Moses, Selah, etc. are all Sanskrit names relating to Hindu gods. In Judaism, one goes to a yeshiva, which is an academy or school to learn Judaism, with the Hindu god Shiva obvious in the name. The Jewish ritual for the deceased is called a Shiva, which is a 7-day mourning for the deceased that's referred to as sitting Shiva. The word for the number 7 in the Old Testament is the Sanskrit Hindu god name for Shiva. In the ancient world, Shiva was known as the Lord of Seven, or rather, sevening oneself. In the Bible, the Sabbath is named after Shiva, who is Lord of Sabaoth. Shiva is also known as the Destroyer in Hinduism. In the Old Testament, God as destroyer passes over Egypt during the Exodus. In both testaments of the Bible, God has 7 spirits which relate to the 7 chakras in the Shivite yogic system, as Shiva is Lord of yoga in Hinduism. The name Canaan or Cana is Sanskrit and from Hinduism. Chanan or Kanan or Chana are Tamil Hindu names for the Hindu god Krishna. The Promised Land of the Hebrews is a park reserve promised to the followers of pre-Brahmin vegan Shivites, or rather Indian Hindus, who conquered and ruled the world way. It was my senior year of high school.
We had to get an ad.
I was just taking a shower one day.
Deep.
Felt just a small lump in my abdomen. Before there was Mesopotamian empires. Canaan or Chanan as a promised land is designated by 2 important items in Hinduism, milk and honey. In approximately 1900 BC, a flood submerged a large portion of India as described by the explorer Strabo. Strabo noted that entire villages, towns, and cities were abandoned just prior to this flood. This flood changed geographical features in India, such as the disappearance of a major river in the Harappan area called the Saraswati. Those who fled immigrated west into the Levant, into the promised land of the Shivites, called Cana or Chanan, where brethren precursors had already immigrated and established the Brahminite empire of Phoenicia on the west of Cana. The Phoenicians are Indians from India. The Saraswati River was deified after this flood as a goddess who became the consort of the god Brahma. The figures of Brahma and Saraswati are found in the Old Testament as Abraham and Sarai. As in Hindu mythology, Brahma and Saraswati are brother and sister and husband and wife, just as Abraham and Sarai are in the Old Testament. Abram, or rather a Brahmin, came from the kingdom of